Okay, so in last class, so we have seen how to automate, I mean, how to launch this application, and also, so we have automated this login page, right? So here we have created one new project, and inside that we created one test, OpenMRS test, okay, for launching the browser and closing the browser. So in the base test, so we have written some methods in the base test, and to use the WebDriver instance into this base test class object. That WebDriver instance we are passing through the main test, through the main test, through the constructor we are initializing the, through the constructor we are initializing the base test driver. We are passing from base log like OpenMRS test to base test. Through the constructor we are initializing. And also we have created one login page for the easy maintenance. Okay, the values which we have, the locator values, we are directly accessing here. Okay, so let me log into this application. The username is admin, A is capital, and password also admin123. Okay, so you can see the password admin123. So initially we have to select any of these location for this session, any of these options. Registration deck I have selected. So in the registration desk, basically we can register the patient. Okay, if you want to, it is a healthcare application. Okay, so if you want to register some patient, so first what you have to do, so you have to register the patient. Okay, using registration deck. Okay, I have selected registration desk. So here, once we log into this page, as a tester, what you have to do? Okay, so you are a tester, you need to verify the registration functionality. Okay, for your each and every action. Okay, once you log in, if it is not login, what you will do? You will report as a error, right? You will report as a error after you log in. Correct or no? After you log in, you have to verify that login is success or not. You should not blindly, go through some steps, and you should not do those steps. So you have to verify for each and every action. Each and every action means once you log in, first what you have to do is you have to verify whether you are on the login page, I mean home page or not. Home page or not, you have to verify. Once you launch the browser, you have to verify whether the browser is launched or not, whether your application is launched or not. So to check these conditions, to verifications, we have assertions. Basically, we have assertions. Okay, so we can use assertions with the help of some other third-party libraries like JUnit and TestNG. We have other advantage also with these like third-party libraries. Basically, we call it as unit test libraries. Okay, so here, if you want to confirm whether you log in successful or not, once you log in into application, what you have to do, you have to verify the application. Once you launch the application, you have to verify the application, whether it is launched or not. So what I do is, so in the login page, in the base test, okay, I write one method. Method name is verify login page. Okay, so which should return true or false. take this as a boolean. Okay, boolean verify login page. Whenever we use some return type, what we have to use, we must compulsory use the return keyword. By default, I am making as a false. So now, once you launch the application, okay, whether it is launched or not, how we can verify? How we can verify? Once you launch the application, suppose if I launch the application Google, how I can verify whether it is a Google page or Google site or not? By looking at this Google logo or by looking at some other things in the web page, you can confirm that it is a Google homepage. Similarly, for your application once you launched, how you can identify this as your application? How you can identify this Google as your application? There are so many things. Okay, here you can see Gmail images and this title. Okay, this browser title. Okay, so here search box, this logo, anything you can identify and you can confirm. Okay, so I want to like confirm this particular uh, application launched or not with the help of okay, with the help of any element in this web page. I can see username, password, or registration deck, login button. Okay, can't login link. Okay, any of these elements you can take and you can confirm that this application is launched. And also you can take this title. Suppose if you want to get the browser title, okay, if you want to get any browser title, so you have method driver dot get title, get title, browser dot get driver dot get title, which gives you the title of your browser. From this header section, you have you have these titles, right? Browser titles. Okay, the current browser title it will give you. If you want to identify some element, how we are using driver dot find element. But from the header section, if you want to access anything, okay, from the header section, if you want to access anything, you can access with directly with these methods driver dot get title, or if you want to check your browser, you launched some browser with some link, right? If you want to get that link, current browser, current link, current URL, with the help of current URL, you can get the current URL. You can compare with your expected URL, whatever the URL you are passing, or from the header section, you can do these two things, or from the body section, if you want to identify some element, this login button is available or not. Okay, that also you can verify. So login button here, login button also is there, right? Okay, verify login button presence. Okay, it is also returns boolean. Again, the same button, login button. Okay, this login button you need to check. If you want to check if the login button or any element is available or not in the web page. Okay, we have some methods. Okay, one is displayed method and then another one is presence method. Okay, dot is displayed, is enabled, is selected. Generally we use is displayed method, that you can put in the, or you can directly use the return keyword. If it is displayed, it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Okay, in the base test, if my title you are getting, okay, verify login page. If your title dot equal ignore case, it is a string method. Okay, if you want to compare with some text, if you want to ignore the case sensitivity, okay, you can use equal ignore case and it is a login page, right? What you are expecting when you launch the browser, it should display the login page. driver.get.equal ignore case login, then return that value. Or if you want to put one more condition, and driver.getCurrentURL dot equal ignore case your URL. How you can get the URL? You already have a properties class with the help of properties class. Okay, so when I launch the browser, it should return. When I launch the browser, it should launch with login page, and also the URL it opens that should match with my URL. Whatever I pass, it should match with that URL. If both are same, I can confirm that okay, it is login successful. I mean, launched the application successfully. So how you are here, you are just checking the title and you are checking the URL. You are confirming that it will return some value. If it is not launched with login, or if the URL is incorrect, then it will return false. But in your base test, what you have to do? You have to call that method. Which method? From the base test. What is the method name? Verify. So this base test, this make it as public. Basically, verify login page. Verify login page. Okay, so with the help of your OpenMRS dot verify login page, which will return true or false. Okay, you can put if condition here. If it is true, then you can print the message. You can print the message. Okay, login or launch application successful. Else launch application fail. Launch application fail. Okay, so here you put these conditions and like that you can verify. Okay, so let me run it once. Okay, so I need to explain one more thing. Why we need to set the assertions. Why we don't need to use the if conditions. Okay, we have. So let me run it once. Application successfully launched, and also it is closed the browser. Okay, that is fine. So let me go to my properties file, resources. This is my properties file, right? Okay, this is my URL. Okay, now let me run it again. Till it is loading, let it be. Yeah, Google homepage is displayed. Okay, because we launched the Google, that is fine. So now see, after launching Google, okay, so it is failing. Why it is failing? So you are calling after launching the browser. What you are checking? You are checking that login page should be displayed. Okay, with the help of this method, what you are checking, login page should be displayed, and also the URL must match. Whatever the URL you are giving, that must match. Okay, but URL is matching. But we are also put one more condition, that is page name should be login. That is incorrect. Here you are getting the page as Google, but you are expecting expecting login. Okay, that is the reason it is failed. That is fine. Whenever it is failed, okay, it is not stopping the execution. Again, it is going to this login to application method. Then it is trying to identify the element. Okay, from this login to application, first element it is trying to identify, that you can see in the console. Okay, so username, unable to locate an element with the CSS selector username. It is unable to identify the element with ID username because username field is not available. But whenever it is failing, launch application is failing, why it is coming to this statement? It should not come, right? It should not come. So if you want to make your test as fail, okay, once it is failed, if you want to stop the execution at the statement, we should not use these if conditions. We should not use these if conditions. We have some other type of verifications. This is also verification we are doing using if else condition. Instead of it, we have libraries, some libraries like JUnit and TestNG. With the help of JUnit and TestNG features, okay, we can stop the execution where it is failing. When it is failing at that line only, we can stop the execution. Here also it is stopping the execution, but here the problem is it is stopping with some exception. But we should not stop our execution with some exception. With some meaningful statement, with meaningful result, we have to stop the execution. Okay, if you want to do that, just add some library to it. Okay, so right click and go to build path. So by default, along with the Java, we will get JUnit also to our JUnit also into our project. Okay, that you can select into go to add library, select JUnit. See, TestNG is not showing here, that you have to add explicitly in your tool. By default, JUnit will be provided. Go to next, finish, and apply and close. See, JUnit is added now to my project. This is the JUnit. Inside the JUnit, there are some methods. Okay, static methods. What are those static methods? Assertion is a class. Assert is a class. Okay, you can select from org JUnit or JUnit framework. You can select from J framework. Assert dot. Assert equals is a method. Okay, so here, so let me remove this deprecated method. What I do is I use some other assertion. So here you can use org JUnit Jupyter API or org JUnit dot assert equals. So when you use this statement assert dot assert equals, you can pass your actual and expected. So actual we are getting from this method. What I'm expecting when I use this method, okay, I should get true. True I'm expecting. Okay, true I'm expecting. If it is true, then it will make this statement as pass, then it will go to the next statement. If you are getting false here, for suppose, if you are expecting true, what happens is in this statement only, it will stop the execution. It will not allow you to do the operation. You will get the JUnit error. Okay, so and also if you want to put some message, that message also you can put. So here it is not accepting. Okay. So I think if you use JUnit Jupyter API, we can do that, it seems. Or in TestNG, we have option. We can also print some message. Okay, let me run it. Now let me run it. It won't go to this statement, 13, line number 39 statement, it won't go. If it is going, then you will get the no such element exception. But that is not your actual failure, actual cause of failure. Okay, the failure is it is unable to identify the title, it is unable to verify the title with the given title. So there you are getting the error. So let me run it. So it is launched the browser, that is fine. So here, if you observe, it is not moving to the, it is not moving to the login to application, because if your application launch is fail, then it should not move to the login. Okay, if you are not on the login page, you should not move to the login. You should not use the login procedure. Okay, at the statement only it is giving the error. Expected you are getting as false. Okay, here what I have to do is actual and expected we have to mention, right? Expected is false, but you are expecting true, but it was true. So we have to use it in a reverse order. The first one is expected. The first one is expected. What you are expecting true. Okay, the actual result, how much it is giving, you have to see. Okay, so you are expecting true, but you are getting the false. Like this, it is showing the error. Okay, and also using JUnit, it is also generate the report. Suppose if I run this program, run as JUnit. Okay, it is not giving a run configuration. Go to, okay, if we convert into JUnit again, you will not understand. Okay, let it be. Okay, we can also generate report with the JUnit. Okay, yeah. So now you can use the assertions instead of if condition. What you can do? You can use the assertion to verify your actions. Okay, let me change it to our original link. If the login is failed, it will stop the execution at the same point. If the login is passed, then it will continue with the execution. So let me run with our actual link. Yeah. So here it is passed. It is launched the application. It is able to identify, and it is also log into the application, right? So again, if you want to put some assertions for your login, okay, here you are using login to application. Okay, after login, suppose if you want to verify, okay, you can put some verify login button presence you already done for that. Okay, this is also you can call after launching the browser. This is also if you want to check into your base test. So here also you can put one more condition. Asset equals. This login button also should be present. So where it is available in login page. You can call with that login page method. Login page variable. It should be true. Okay. Now, once I log into application, again, if I want to verify home page is displayed or not. Okay, login page is displayed or not, we have verified. Home page is displayed or not. For that also you can put some verification. Admin 123, registration desk should be there, login. Okay, here you have selected registration desk. Okay, here it is showing logged in as super user admin at registration desk. You can verify this home page, and also you have selected registration desk, right? So if you want to verify that, how you can verify? Okay, so in from the login page, or let me create one more page, new class name is home page. Okay, based on the page name, we are creating the classes for the easy maintenance of code. Finish it. Okay, write the constructor, same like this, just copy this, go to your home page, paste here. Constructor is home page. Okay, super driver. Okay, you need to extend, right? Extends base test, then only you can use the super keyword. Now, with the help of this driver instance, you can call the methods. Now you have to verify the home page. You have to verify the home page. Okay, to get the title of home page, okay, first you have to write a method, verify home page. Verify home page. Okay, which is returning Boolean. So you should return some value, return, make it as false by default. So what you are expecting, driver dot get title dot equal ignore case dot equal ignore case. So here you can home page you can give. Okay, that you can return basically. Or if you want to put one more condition, registration desk also should be visible. Okay, so here what you can say is from the application. So this is displaying, right, where it is go to inspect that element. What is this element? H4 element, header element. Okay, you can say, you can write xpath here, / h4 contains text. So we are passing only registration desk we are selecting. Okay, registration desk. So it is identifying that element. So you can use this locator and driver dot find element. Find element. By dot xpath you are using. Okay, that xpath you can specify here. Okay, you just identify that element. Okay, but you need to check whether it is displayed or not. Use method dot is displayed. It will give, if it is displayed, it will give true. Otherwise, it will give the false. Okay, this one, if it is matching, it will give true. Here we are checking both the true and true, then only it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So you can call this method to verify home page. If you want to call, what you have to do? Again, create the home page as a static member or instance member. Static home page. So now you can initialize that home page, same like new home page. Okay, driver. Now you can use your home page after clicking on login. Dot verify home page. Okay, put the assertion to verify that. Then it will decide whether it is login or not. Okay, rerun it. Yeah. So rerun also. So after 5 seconds, it will close the browser. Or if it is unable to identify this registration desk, it will fail. Let's see what happened. So here we are getting the error, null pointer exception. What is null pointer exception? Get the title. Because test.homepage.driver is null. We are getting null. Why we are getting null is here. So once it click on login, the browser is loading, right? So that time I think it is giving the null. Get title is giving the null. Cannot invoke. Oh my god. So here why it is showing as null? Cannot invoke driver.getTitle null. So let me go to this test. So here homepage driver, okay, we are passing driver only, but here we are getting null, driver as null. Cannot invoke is null. Driver dot get title when I use. Okay, so what you have to do is, so here you need to declare that WebDriver also you have declared, that is also fine. So here home page you have to use. That is the issue. Okay, you are assigning the login page related driver to driver, but here by default it is null, right? For your home page variable is null. That you have to assign. You can assign with your home page class driver equals to driver. So let me rerun. We should not get this error now. Log out. So let me rerun again. So after login, it has to verify homepage is displayed or not. And also it has to verify that label, the registration desk we are selecting, right? So that is displaying on the home page that we need to verify. Sorry. So my network is like fluctuating. Okay. So let me rerun again. Let me rerun. Yeah, after launching the browser, it has to verify and close the browser. Yes, it is passing now. Okay. So like that, for each and every action, what you have to do is you have to set the yes,
Shiva,
you have to put the verification.
your screen not visible.
Like Sairam, so do you have any doubt in the class?
Your screen is not visible.
Okay, okay, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to share. Sorry for that. Yeah. So like so for your sake, like let me rerun again. Okay. So let me rerun again one more time. So it is starting now. Yeah. So it is executed. Okay. So like this, we have to set the assertions for each and every action. Okay. Suppose if I want to register a patient. Okay. So this is the register a patient. This is a link. Okay. It is in the home page link. So you can identify this with, can we identify this with link text or not? Tell me. Can we identify this register a patient with link text or not? So this is the DOM structure, document structure. Okay, this one is a anchor tag. Okay, whenever the anchor tag link is holding some text, we can directly identify the element with link text or partial link text. So in this case, can we identify with partial link text or link text? Okay, so let me try. Okay, register a patient. Okay, you might feel that it is a link. Okay, so then in home page, what I do is, let me write one method, click register, or let me write click link. Common method I'm writing. Here it should accept some string link text. It is a click action, right? Just put it as a public void. So whenever you are writing, it's better to write in the public. So you need to click on the link. So you can click driver dot find element by dot link text. Okay, what is the link text? The link text which you are providing through the method. So you need to perform the action, click. Okay, so now call this method from the home page. So here, home page dot click link. Which link? The link you are trying to click, register a patient. Okay, after clicking the link, you need to set one more assertion, register a patient. When you click on register a patient, okay, you are getting some registration desk, something you are getting, right? So here you need to identify something here. Okay, again, you should not use register a patient. If you use register a patient, okay, so let me identify with this register patient header what it is. it is a header tag, h2 tag. Okay, let it be. And also, what is the page name? It is showing some huge name, right? So what I do is I simply identify this text. It is a header text. Okay, whether it is available or not, I will verify. Register a patient. Okay, so here I will write a common method instead of hard coding. Verify text. Text is available or not, we are verifying. Which should return Boolean. Some common method I'm writing. Okay. So here, what I do is return, by default return false. Instead of putting verify text, verify header text. Verify header text. Okay, earlier also somewhere we are using header h4. Okay, so here I want to use header h2. Okay, or you can say verify registration page. Verify registration page. So registration page, I will create a new class. Class is registration page. Okay, create it. So again, similarly, how you are writing this constructor, same way you have to write the constructor here. Okay, registration page is you need to create as a constructor, and also you need to initialize your driver with your class name, and this should extends base test. Okay, this is common for every page. So now yeah, so here what I do is here I write the verification of that registration page. So verify registration page which should return true. So you can use the same method like this. I don't want to use the page name now. Remove it. Okay, your H2 should contain which one? Register a patient. Right? This is the H2 tag. See, copy this and paste here. So if it is displayed, which means your registration page is displayed. Okay, to click the registration link, so we have already used click link, that is register a patient. Then verify with registration. Okay, so create a registration page here, object for your page. This is called page object model. For each page, we are creating the page object, right? Registration page, we are creating the page object, and we are using that page object to perform the actions. So now you can use your registration page into your assertion, and so here you can call registration page dot verify registration. Verify not login page. In the registration page, we have login. Okay, so we are extending base test, right? So that is the reason it is also giving the methods of base test. Okay, what I do is let me make it as public. I want to verify this registration page. Okay, go to your test and you call the verify registration page. Let me rerun. Save it. Yeah, so it is should navigate it to registration patient. So it will pass again. Okay, here assertion we are getting as fail. So it is unable to identify that element. Maybe. Okay, if you go to verify registration page, okay, register a patient, H2 should contains text register a patient. So let me try to use. Okay, we have this register a patient link. Okay, it is able to identify, it is able to find this element, but still we are getting false. At where we are getting false at line number 42. So verify home page. Home page verify, it is failing, but still it is clicking the. Okay, so here I should not call this verify home page after clicking this. So that is the issue. So let me rerun one more time. Okay, we have to make sure our test should pass every time. Okay. So after clicking on a register patient, I was verifying home page is available or not. Obviously, it won't appear, right? So that is the reason it was failing. Yeah, it is navigated to registration page. Let's see. Yeah, it is closes the browser also. Okay, so it is working as expected. So now we are writing our code into different pages. See, suppose if you see here, so you are using some methods and verifications, right? You are using some link for link. Okay, it is fine. It is a common method. If you observe here, home page is displayed or not, registration link is displayed or not, you are checking. That is also fine. If you go to login page, you are performing some actions. And if you go to registration page, here also your verification is fine. But while you are implementing the code, okay, this is very important. In home page or login page or base test, okay, when you are writing some code, you should not hard code these values, and also you should not call these like this. You should not call values, you should not compare like this, and you should not hard code the values. Okay, so so now it is login. So like after few days or after few deployments, they might change it to OpenMRS login. If you hard code here, again it will fail. So that is the reason. So before you are using your data, this data should not be hard coded. Okay, what you have to do is you have to pass it as a string, some page name. you have to pass it as variable, parameter. You should not hard code. This you can use it into your comparison. Again, this entire part you should not maintain these two lines you should not maintain into one line. Okay, you should not call with these hard coded values. What you have to do is verify page title. You have to write verify page title. Okay, this page title returns true or false. Verify, whenever you use verify, which means it returns true or false. So you can use this true or false here. Let's return boolean and make it as public. So it returns true or false when you pass some page name. This method you can call to this verification method. Right? So if you want to specify, you can specify with this dot verify page title. Or you can write one more method, that is verify current page URL. Current page URL. Or you can specify get current page URL. Okay. So this one also what you can do is public get current page title. Current page title. Get current page title. Why we are getting current page title? This is void. What you can do is you can write page title. If you want to return this page title, you can return, because you are using get. What it will return, you are getting as a string. This get title returns the string method, string. So you can use string to return this value. So this current page title you have to replace here. Okay, this dot comparison, verify page title comparison. Okay, similarly to get the current page, so you can use get current page URL. Simply you can use, instead of title, you can use get current URL. Okay, it returns current URL. It returns string. Okay, now you can write verify current page, verify page URL. Verify page URL. So you have to pass the URL to verify it. You can call this method get current page URL equal ignore case. Okay, this URL.
Why we are using this keyword here?
Come again.
Raju, this keyword we are using, right? So just I want to know who written this dot. Yeah.
See, that is very basic, basically. So this keyword to represent it is a instance method.
Okay.
Okay. So that is we discussed in Java. Okay. So here we are getting current page URL. This dot current page URL. So we have get current page title, but current page URL this one. Okay. So it should not accept parameters. Okay. So here, so now you can call this dot verify page title and also this dot verify page URL. In this place, you can use this. Control Z. So here you can use. Like that, we have to maintain the methods for the reusability. Okay, for the reusability, we have to maintain like this. Nothing is changed here. Okay, when you are calling the current, when you are calling verify login page, okay, here what you have to do, that you can pass it as a login. Whatever the value you want to pass in the future, that you can pass. So again, this data we will maintain into some other external files. Through that we will pass this value. Okay, that we call it as data driven, that I will explain later. So now coming to login page. So whenever you are performing some action, you should not perform entire thing in a single action. Okay, login to application is fine, but you should not create method like this. What you have to do is, for each and every action, you have to create a separate method. Suppose if you are setting some value, some username, okay, what you have to do? Set username, write a method, remove from here and set it here. Whenever you are setting, it should be wide, make it as public. Okay, this is setting the username. Similarly, I want to set password. Set password. Okay, so password statement we have to bring here. Okay, select module. Okay, select module. Select module. So module name you have to pass. Module name, that is a string. Okay, so whenever you are selecting, it is a wide, make it as public. So select the module, click module or select module, provide the module name as variable. Okay, now click login button, public, wide, click login. You can specify button also, or click login. Copy this here. Okay, here in login to application, call those methods one by one. This dot set username. Okay, this dot set password. This dot click select module. Okay, so module name you have to pass here. Okay, so here the same thing you can use as a parameter. So pass the module name. Similarly, this dot click login. Okay, so like that you have to create the methods. Okay, you have to create the methods in this format. Okay, now go to open MRS test. So here, while login to application, module name you have to provide. What is the module name? Registration desk. Okay, so let me log out here. Let me check. See, registration desk. The name should be as it is. Login to application, registration desk application. Okay. So now verify, go to after login page, go to home page. So here also you are writing title. So you already, to get the title of some page, you already written the method in base test, right? Base test. Get the title, get current page title. So that you can reuse into your home page method, home page title. So here instead of using it, what you can do to verify the title also, you have method in the home page, base page, verify page title. Simply you can call this method here, like this you can pass. You can use this also because it is also instance method that you are inheriting from the base test. And find element by XPath, registration desk is displayed or not. Okay, so here in the base test, did you create any method like that? No. Okay, now what you can do is, for this you will create a, for this you will create a separate method. Cut it or Control Z. So here you can write directly write, or if you want to get the element, registration desk element, you can use get method. But instead of it, here we can directly verify what it is. This is the registration desk. Okay, verify registration desk element. Okay, so whenever you specify the name, you can hard code. If you write a common method, that time you should not hard code. Okay, so here it is clearly saying that you are trying to verify the registration desk. So now you can hard code the value. Okay, this one you can cut from here. You can paste here using Boolean. You can return it. Okay, make it as a public method. So now you can call this registration desk element, this dot method. So you have to create different methods and you have to call those methods. Okay, similarly, go to registration page. Here also, same method. Go to home page, copy this, come to your registration page. So here, register a patient, verify registration, register a patient element. Register a patient element. Okay, which one it is? Okay, so here we will call this method. Okay, if you run it again, nothing we changed. We just changed the coding format, right? Did we change anything? Nothing we have changed, right? Nothing we have changed. Just we converted our code into methods. Just we converted our code into methods. Just I'm aligning now. Okay. So now if you run the same action, nothing is changed here. The same action will be performed. So invalid username and password we are passing now.
I think this username method you didn't call, I think.
Okay, I
The
think in
login.
login page, see. So login page is failing, so that I can directly go to, so if we maintain into different classes, okay, here we can directly go to login page, okay, and we can verify, set username, set password. Password is same only, okay, password only. So why we are getting error then?
Maybe in 35th line, right? Just use that login method. That
Okay.
set a password you have
we
used
are
it.
using the same set password we are using. So login set username we have to use. Correct. So let me close it. Let me rerun again. Yeah, now it is working. So now we have one important concept, easy and important concept. So we have to, yeah, so it has to close the browser also. Let's see, yeah, the execution is done. And also we didn't get any errors. Okay, it is working as earlier. So now we have one more thing. In the login page, every time you are using driver.findElement, 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 it is a common thing, right? Driver.findElement. Okay, to avoid this, we have some annotations. Driver.findElement, driver.findElement. To avoid these things, we have. So here we are not using any driver instance. So here, every time you are using driver.findElement, suppose if you are writing some hundreds of lines, hundreds of methods, hundreds of some thousands of these driver.findElement. Okay, why to repeat this driver.findElement every time? Okay, to avoid this, we have page factory class. Page factory class. To avoid this one, we have page factory class. So let me put it into the base class first. Okay, so here we have page factory class. So inside this page factory, we have one init elements is the method. Init elements. Page factory class, we have init elements. Okay, here we can use WebDriver. So here, what we have to do is in this init elements, we have to pass the driver, our actual driver, and also our class object. Our class object we can access with this keyword, right? Every time. So when you use this, and so before explaining it, so what I have to explain is, so generally, so when you are using, okay, some driver.findElement or something else, okay, so let me go to login page. Again, you should not use this data directly as it is here. What you have to do is, you have to store this element into web element. On that web element, you have to perform the action. So this is your web element, right? Where we have to store some variable. You can store into web element. So we have one class web element. Okay, whenever you are finding some element, if you want to store into some other variable, that you can store into web element using web element class. So here, what is this user name element? Username element. So import this web element. Username element. What you can do is simply username element dot send keys. Okay, you just converting into, instead of writing entire thing in a single statement, you are converting into just you are storing into variable, that variable you are using. Okay, here whenever, so you will write some hundreds of no methods. Whenever username is changed, you will directly go to this username variable and you will change here. No need to go to the methods. Operation you no need to change. You can change just data. Similarly, password. I will create one more variable here, password element. Password element. Okay, what is the password element? You are identifying with ID only. So instead of using this one, you can use simply variable. Okay. And select module. This is also select module. Okay, so this one, it is accepting some parameter, right? Okay, so let it be. Let it be. Or you can do, yeah, you can use as it is instead of doing it. Or you can store into some variable. But here, you are passing this value, right? So in this case, you cannot store into some element. Okay, you are directly passing the value here. You cannot declare it as a variable. So login button. So login button, yeah, the ID you have hard coded that you can store it into some variable. What it is? Login button. So this login button you can directly click like this. You can write. Similarly, instead of see whenever when to store into variable and when to directly use. Suppose if you are using only one time, that time you can directly use that statement. If you are using only one time, suppose if you are repeatedly using the same statement, here I'm using and also here I'm using. In that case, if we assign into some variable, it will be better. This is fine. So if you observe here, if you observe here, if you observe these elements, every time we are using driver.find element, driver.find element, driver.find element. Okay, to avoid these duplicate usage of driver.find element, we have one class that is page factory class. Page factory class. Inside this page factory, we have init elements method. So here we have to pass driver object and also we have to pass this keyword. Driver object and this keyword we have to pass. Our current page object, or you can use this also, you can use any driver object. And also our current page object. Current page object, how we can represent using this keyword. So when you use this, you can stop using the statements like this. Simply, we have some annotations at the rate find by, at the rate find by. Okay, here you have to use. Here you have to use. Suppose if you are using username element. Okay, username element you can use. Okay, but in at the rate find by, so you are identifying with some value, right? So here we have one method. Okay, one like variable. Okay, while explaining like annotations, I have explained this in Java. Okay, so there are two methods. One is how method. How we have one class how dot id. How dot. So let me import the at the rate find by. Then only we'll get those options. Wait. At the rate find by. Okay. So what happened here when I use at the rate find by, whether it is imported or not? Let's see. Yes, find by is imported. Okay, we should get how Yeah. How? So how dot, we have all locators again. If you want to identify with ID, XPath, link test, partial link test, class, CSS, all locator related, these constants are available. Okay, how is a enum? So you have to pass ID, and using which? Using that ID. Whatever the ID you want to use, that ID. Okay, so now you can mention this for your variable. Okay, how also you need to import. So how? It is not showing, no? At the rate find by. This is also fine. Okay, how also it has to display. Yeah, whenever it is showing some methods, means it has to show the imported class also. Okay, when I use how.id, it is giving the access. Just comma only. You need to pass two arguments. One is how and one other one is using. Okay, using that ID. Okay, so here otherwise you have one more option. You have directly use ID. It is not working. Okay, let me check. Check the same thing in the base test. Let me put it. So we are getting some issue. What is that? I will explain later. Okay, now let me go to here. Still we are getting issue now. At the rate find by how. This is username element. For username element you are using. Okay. Web element. Let me use web element. Yeah. So this is the type of web element. Okay, username. The same thing you have to use, but how it is not displaying, why import how? Yes, now it is showing. Okay. So if you want to, okay, similarly, so password we have commented, right? So similarly, you can put it for password. So here I want to use it for password. This is password element. Similarly, login button, I want to use it. It is also a ID, login button. So login button I use. So once you create like this, see here in the, not only in the base test, okay, if you want to use this in your class also you can use here. Here also you can use, and login page also you can use. Okay, so let me remove it here, and let me remove from here also, because we are already setting it in the base class. Go to your login page. So now what you can do is, whenever you assign this with annotation, now no need to use the driver.find element like that. You can directly use username element dot this one. So you can avoid this notation. Simply you can declare your elements, your variables, and if you are assigning some data to your variable, that data you can assign with the help of your @find by annotation. So that is the reason I have explained annotation in our Java class. Okay, why we are using annotation? You can pass some values. In runtime, you can assign the values to your variable or your method, or wherever you want, you can assign those values. You can fetch those values and you can assign those values. So using this annotation, when you pass some values, so it will assign those values to this particular variable. Okay, instead of using this statement, you can simply use like this. You can avoid driver.find element. Are we using here? No. We are using just @find by annotation.
Shiva,
Yes.
when it is a class, then we can give how dot class or how dot id only.
So if it is a class value, suppose, so you have class enum. It is, how is a enum? You have constant class. See class name. Class name. Okay, you are using with the help of class name. You can use class name. If it is XPath, use XPath.
Okay, Shiva, got it.
Yeah, if it is name, use name. Okay, link test, then link test. Partial link test, partial link test. Okay, like that. Tag name, we have tag name. Okay, if it is ID, we have ID. Similarly, login page, go to home page. So here also we are using some link test. See, whenever we are passing some text, that time we cannot use @find by annotation, and also we cannot declare as a web element. Okay, we cannot declare as a web element. Whenever we are passing some parameter to our method, we cannot declare as a constant. Okay, so constants, it won't work out now. So this is the registration desk. Okay, registration desk element. Okay, use @find by annotation. Okay, so here it is XPath. Okay, using how dot XPath, using the value. Which value? This is the value, your XPath value. Okay, so you are assigning to web element variable. It is a registration desk element or header element. Header element. Okay, so import this web element class from Selenium. This is the registration desk element. Just simply replace with this. Similarly, replace this. This is displayed on. Similarly, go to registration page. Here also we are using register a patient element. Use the same @find by. So we can minimize the usage of find elements method. Driver.find element, we can avoid with the help of this annotation. Okay, so how we are using how dot XPath again. So what is the XPath? Using this XPath. This is the XPath. You can cut here. It is you are assigning it to a web element, right? What it is? Register a patient element. So import the web element class. So use this variable in the place of driver.find elements. Okay, so go to your test. So here we are not using anything. So login page we already done. Okay, so how we are, see, suppose if username is changed, just you will directly come to this part, and here you will change. No need to go to the methods. Okay, so now go to your test and run it again. It should work like previous. See, it is working like previous one only. Okay, it is closed the browser also. So whenever we write the code, okay, so it should be understandable by everyone, and also when you are maintaining your code, it should be like the code should be maintained very well. Okay, so suppose if you maintain into these different classes, when you get problem into one page is changing, you can directly go to that page and you can modify that content. If you write everything in a single page, again, it is very difficult to identify that code. You have to go through the entire code, somewhere you will find. Instead of that, so we will make our code into different classes. That is the use of Java, right? So Java, why we are using, we will classify the data first. Classify the data, then use the data by creating the object to it. So here, this pattern, we call it as page object model. Okay, so for each and every page, we are creating the class page, class. For class, for particular that class, we are creating the object and we are using those class methods and data. Okay, like this, we have to implement the automation test scripts. Okay, so this we call it as page object model. Okay, here generally class wise also you can create when you are creating at base class level. Okay, no need to again create at base class level. I mean, for each and every page, because you are inheriting this base class into your class. Okay, you are inheriting this base class, base test class into your current class. So no need to use this page factory init elements for each and every class. It is already inherited. Okay. Okay, so base test. So we should remove like unused imports. Okay, so Chrome driver, are we using? No, remove it. Why to show here? Not required in the login page. So for your understanding, I will keep the statements in the code. Similarly, so here, do we have any unused imports or no? In the registration page, we have some yellow color, it is showing me some unused import is there. Okay, so like this, we have to make our code very clear, easy to access. So if you want only login page related code, you will create the object for it. No need to create object for entire code, not required, right? And for your verification purpose, so we have to use the assertions. Okay, how we can make this code? So now it is looking like a simpler code, right? Okay, by looking at this code, it is very easy to understand and also easy to use. If you write some clumsy code, it is very difficult to understand. Again, so this code also we can again minimize. We can minimize and we can make the code, our code, very clear and easy to understandable. How to do that we will discuss tomorrow. And also, whenever I'm performing some action, suppose for login, for logout, I'm performing some actions, right? Login and logout. Close application. Suppose if test is failing, if test is failed in the statement, my application is not closing. Suppose register a patient 1 or what? Okay, register a patient 1. In this place, my test will fail. So after failing the test, my application should close. Okay, but it is not closing. Why it is not closing? Because your execution stopping at the statement only. Wherever you get the error, that statement only it is stopping. Okay, so even though pass or fail, every time my application should close. How we can do that? Okay, with the help of unit test libraries only. If you want to perform, if you want to set up pre and post setup, pre and post operations. If you want to set up few things, we can use unit test libraries, JUnit or TestNG. We have some advantages. Okay, tomorrow we will discuss TestNG and also I will create some more code. Okay, registering the patient or finding the patient, and also I will provide you the some assignments. I will start giving you the assignments. See, here it has to click on a register a patient, but it is failed. Once it is failed, it has to close the browser, right? Why it is waiting for some other element? If it is failed, then close the browser. How we can do that? So with the help of unit test libraries, we can do that. So tomorrow we will discuss unit test libraries. Then once we discuss the unit test library, then we can move on to Maven project creation. Okay, we have some other features also, features of Selenium. How to use those features also we'll discuss one by one. So by this, so let me stop recording.